So this morning, growing outrage over a career criminal with 14 prior arrests who was also out on cashless bail when he allegedly stabbed a young Ukrainian refugee in the neck on a train in Charlotte. The Democrat mayor, who faces a primary election today, facing backlash for appearing more concerned about whether people were sharing the video online. Our next guest is an expert on criminal justice reform. Manhattan Institute fellow Rafael Mangual joins us now. Rafael, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I used to be a criminal justice reformer. I want people to have their rights, but I also understand that the criminal justice system, by design, is supposed to keep violent offenders off the street. Most reformers used to believe that, but that has changed. Why?
Well, I think people have really just gone too far out on the limb. I mean, there is a prevailing narrative in this country, and there has been for some time, that the U.S. is an overly punitive state, that we have a mass incarceration crisis, an over-policing crisis. And what that's led to is for people to tolerate really dumb criminal justice policy, the kind of policy that allows dangerous repeat offenders who consistently exhibit the repeated criminal conduct that they have no intention of playing by society's rules. And what happens when we don't take those offenders at their word and we don't create the systems that allow us to incapacitate them and protect the rest of society is tragedy. And we saw that in North Carolina.
One judge I used to work for used to say you got to nip it in the bud, even when it came down to juveniles. And Representative Randy Fine is introducing some legislation. He says, I'm going to introduce legislation to hold judges accountable when violent repeat offenders they release commit new crimes. It's easy to release criminals when you're protected by an armed bailiff at all time. The rest of us aren't so lucky. Those 12-plus judges that released the Carlos Brown Jr. should have their day in court, too. This may be a little difficult, though, Rafael, right? Because there is some judicial protection, not only for judges, but for DAs as well, right?
That's right. Judges and DAs in this country enjoy absolute immunity for anything that's done in their official capacity. And while I understand and am sympathetic to the instinct that Randy Fine is speaking on here, especially in light of the fact that the left has tried to upend police immunity to make them easier to sue and more accountable, the reality is that there's a more direct way to get at the problem of judicial abuse of discretion, and that is to limit their discretion through things like mandatory minimum sentences, truth in sentencing regimes, and rebuttable presumption of pretrial detention when repeat offenders come before the court. And, you know, that is a much more direct route to keeping these individuals off the street and keeping Americans safe. And I would love to see legislation introduced to do that.
Well, Rafael, also at its core, many of these judges, local judges, are elected. I think more Americans should get involved with these local elections as well. It's not something that President Trump or Congress is going to be able to do to solve this crisis. You got to get better people representing you, right?
I think that's exactly right. And I would love to see some civil society institutions undertake the process of educating the public and letting them know which judges can be trusted and which judges have a really terrible record of being overly lenient with repeat offenders. And, you know, these are things that we can track. And unfortunately, you know, we have the ABA, you know, who says whether or not a judge is qualified to serve. But outside of that, we don't really have an outside institution educating the public and letting them know that a certain judge is a risk.
And the American Bar Association has changed. It's become more progressive. They haven't gone to the roots, which is protecting citizens and making sure even the criminal constitutional rights aren't violated. Now they're just giving them way too much leeway. Rafael, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.